everyone. It's another Friday. It's 11 a.m. right now, but I'm typically here earlier. I've had a busy morning, so I'm doing the episode right now at 11 a.m. live on the internet. It is Facebook and YouTube, and it is fun. You can interact. You can chat along. You can ask questions. It's kind of supposed to be just an interactive show. And today's topic, boys and girls, is home inspections. What to expect when you have a home inspection. All right, welcome back. Like I said, I'm Chad Eckert. You can find my information scrolling across the bottom. I work for Edina Realty, and I like to come to you each and every Friday morning to give you a different topic in the real estate world. And today's home inspection topic is fun because I do a lot of these home inspections. Just did one yesterday or 2 days ago. So I thought it'd be a good idea to come on here and give you kind of an insight. What do we expect in a home inspection? Well, you bought a house. That's a good thing. And now you want to know what it's all about. You want to inspect it, dig a little deeper. I mean, we had 15 minutes to walk through it. That's typically how it goes. You have a showing and you fall in love in 15 minutes and you're right for 20 grand over and you hope to get it. You're crossing your fingers and then boom, all of a sudden they accept your offer. And if you put in the offer, you want a contingency to inspect, you'll have a certain amount of time to get that home inspection done. Now, listen, I'm not a lawyer, but I would definitely have a home inspection. That would be my suggestion to you. No matter what price, if it's a brand new house, I know, hey, these multiple offer situations, they're requiring people to skip the home inspection, to not have it contingent on a home inspection. That's a little sketchy. So my advice is to get an inspection. Who is an inspector? Do Spectre gadget. Yeah, they have gadgets. They have stuff that they, bring with them. Got ladders and flashlights and doodads to stick around and poke around. It's kind of fun. Inspectors. You can find them on the internet. You can go Google home inspectors in Minnesota, and you can find Structure Tech. They're like the FBI of home inspectors. Or you just ask me, and I can refer you to a couple people. They're good people. They're licensed. It's not just some random guy that comes in and pretends that he knows what they're doing. They have to go through classes and figure out, pay probably to get this as certification, be a home inspector. How much do they charge? Well, typically they'll charge based on price of square foot. Sometimes it's based on the, if it's $1 million house, might charge you more. It's about $500 to $1,000. If you do have a radon test, it can be a little bit more. Radon is another thing that we can talk about. It's natural occurring gases in the earth that you got to test for. They can cause cancer. So they put this little test at the bottom in the basement somewhere, and then you get a result. And if it's above a certain amount, you got to have a mitigation system installed. It's another whole thing. But hey, depending on if you have that radon test, it's about $500. If you suspect the home might have potential moisture, or you're concerned about a specific spot or something specific, they may charge you extra to bring a moisture infrared scan, or they may charge you more to do some more. Or you have to hire like an expert in a specific area. That might have to happen after this initial inspection. How long does it take? Well, it takes about 3 or 4 hours. It takes a while. Depending on how big the house is, it can take all day. And do you have to be there the whole time? No, you don't have to be there the whole time. Can you be? Sure. It's kind of annoying maybe to have the buyer walking around, taking notes behind this guy the entire time as he's checking every outlet, looking every window. Usually how this goes is this guy shows up and starts at the top, starts outside at the roof, and he works his way down. Then he goes inside and does the same thing, starts at the top, works his way down. And you may want to show up just at the end where the guy's showing up to the mechanical room in the lower level in the basement, looking at the furnace, looking at the water heater, and he's doing that stuff at the end. So then you could show up at that point and you can get the basics of the mechanical systems within your home. That's probably the most important things. And then he'll review with you what he discovered. So they'll start at the top, they'll go to the bottom, and then yes, it takes 3 hours. This guy's going to take a ton of pictures. It's going to be detailed in this report that he gives you. It's be emailed to you a few hours after that. And then you decide what from that do you want to go back to the seller with. Maybe you have some things you want to clarify. Maybe this report, it tells us we're worried about this one specific area or this specific weirdness about this house, and then we have to go and ask the seller what's going on with that. And then, or this is your opportunity now. You want to negotiate. You got a couple days or whatever after this inspection's done. You got the report and you looked at it and you want to know. Maybe you wanted to get a roofer out there to look at the roof and see exactly what this inspector says he's worried about. Maybe you want to get a moisture guy out there to test a specific window or spot or something like that. These are all things that you can do within the window that you decided and that they've agreed to let you do that. I'd probably do this on any house. Like I mentioned, I'd do this on a new build. Sometimes these new builds are just as bad as these ones from 1950. So you got to get an inspection. You got to get that done. Oh, gosh, what if the inspector comes back and says this is a bad roof? Well, yeah, you definitely want to get someone to look at that. So that might take a couple days extra. That might go past this initial period. So you want to amend to extend it a couple days to get the clarification. Sometimes you want to find the, this guy has something specifically wrong that could cost $20,000. So you go get an expert to tell you about it. They write up a report and then you send that to the seller. And you say, hey, seller, look, it's going to cost me 10 grand to do this. Either do it for me right now before closing or take 10 grand off the price. That's how it works. Some of these things you negotiate like safety specific items, GFCI outlets, those outlets in the kitchen and the bathroom that flip off if you put, the toaster in water or something like that. Those things, they weren't a standard by any means. Now they kind of are. So you want to ask the seller to install those items, or something like a smoke detector, carbon monoxide detector. All of those things might. Anyway, so that's about it for the inspections. Let's see. Sometimes you discover things that are just too much to handle. Sometimes you don't, want this house anymore. There's things that are just so bad with it that you want to walk away, or you just significantly negotiate off of the initial purchase price that you offered. But yes, spending the money on a home inspection is a great idea because it'll give you peace of mind. It may cost you about $700, but that's peanuts when it comes to what could potentially be wrong that could cost you tens of thousands of dollars later. Okay, people are writing offers without an inspection, and I suggest not to do that. Again, I'm not a lawyer, but that seems like a bad idea. And this is happening much more frequently lately with this crazy seller market. So I don't know if I do that, but you can try to do that and maybe you'll win. Because if I'm a seller and someone writes an offer with no inspection, maybe I'm a seller and I don't even want that. If I have a house that's decent and I'm like, no, don't do this without an inspection because that makes me nervous. Go ahead and look at it. Figure it out. But either way, let's review. An inspection is conducted after the buyer and the seller negotiate a purchase price. And then the inspection is done in about 7 to 10 days after that accepted date. The inspection's done in about 3 or 4 hours. You don't have to be there the whole time. You can show up at the end and listen to this dude review whatever he's discovered. And then the inspection's finished. You look at the report and you ask the seller to clarify some things, or you renegotiate specific items. That's kind of how it works. Or if it's really bad, you just say bye-bye and you go on to the next house, because that happens sometimes. I want to buy a POS. So you got to move on. You got to walk away. Ultimately, the cost of an inspection is well worth it, like I mentioned. So thank you for watching this episode of my Realty reality show. It's every Friday morning. It is on YouTube and it is on Facebook Live. So there you go. Thanks for being here. Have a great day. If you have a house you want to look at over the weekend, give me a call. I'm 590-3090. Text or call. Peace out. Thanks for watching.